Hello, I'm Catherine Bruce, and welcome to Acuity Brands' Bright Ideas series on IndustrialSage. In our last episode, we talked about the trends in education and training. Today, we are going to focus on the experience of learning. We're joined by Erin Bednarek, Director of Educational Development at Acuity Brands, and Dani, Senne, the Senior Manager of Training and Education. Ladies, lighting is a personal experience. How do you create an environment to optimize learning?
Well, the first way that we do that is that we have numerous lighting centers across the United States. Those lighting centers allow us to bring customers in and have them experience it firsthand for themselves. You know, lighting isn't one of those things that you can read about and fully understand it. I'll equate it to traveling. You know, if someone goes to Paris, France and comes back and tells you about it, it's very different than if you go to Paris, France and experience it for yourself.
Very different explanation and experience for certain. Besides being in person and experience the lighting, what are some of the challenges you see when you're educating about lighting specifically?
Yeah, I would say our biggest challenge right now is really not PowerPointing them to death. You know, really keeping the customer engaged and finding ways to do that so that they learn and retain the information that we want them to, as well as build a stronger relationship with Acuity Brands.
Now, what about controls? A little bit different than lighting. Are there different challenges, or?
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the things that we really recognize is that not all learners acquire knowledge and skills in the same way. And so, you know, one size does not fit all when it comes to our classes. And so, you know, we look at different techniques that we can engage students, adult learners with. And in addition to that, controls technology itself changes so frequently, so rapidly, that we really need to learn how to engage and, you know, bring that new content in for the students to be able to interact with the newest products.
So are there types of training platforms or training experiences that you get the most demand for or the best feedback around?
I would say the ones that we get the most demand for are really those interactive, engaging trainings that are personalized and tailored to the individual.
Makes sense.
And one of the other things to add to that is really our on-demand learning. So we have an on-demand portal, Acuity Academy, that has a lot of e-learnings that, you know, are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so that really enables students to put the learning in their own hands, do it at their own pace, on their own time. And so that really is, you know, is very important. And we also use those e-learnings as prerequisites. So we take a blended learning approach when we do our curriculum design for our courses. And what that allows us to do is really take care of some of that learning and that content before they come to our classrooms. And so that really gives us, you know, the most available time for them to be immersive and interactive with the content, like Dani mentioned earlier.
Makes a lot of sense. So how are you getting hands-on in those training programs?
So the first way that we do it is really simple, right? We'll weave in activities with PowerPoints. So those activities can be as simple as basic memory recall, like trivia or Jeopardy. It can also get a little bit more engaging where we ask them to apply the correct lighting controls and light fixture in a certain application. So picking the best downlights for a commercial office space. We also can take it to kind of the next step and show them the product. And that can be, you know, giving them a sample case, letting them take the light fixture out, look at it, plug it in, dim it up, dim it down. It can also be doing a retrofit activity where we actually have them take the old light fixture out and put a new light fixture in, so they're really getting that full experience. And then the last thing with lighting that we like to do is actually take them to a place where our light fixtures are installed. So that way they're getting to see it in a real application, not just in our lighting centers, but in both spaces.
Interesting.
So like Dani mentioned, you know, really being able to incorporate all of the different types of ways that adults learn, whether it's visually or, you know, through audio, you know, capabilities or interactive, that, you know, that hands-on approach. So really with controls training, we try to incorporate all of those means and methods into the classes. And one of the ways that we do keep abreast of the control technology changes are really giving the students the opportunity to interact with those products, like Dani mentioned, you know, bringing in everything that's new as quickly as we can once it's launched to, you know, to the launched to the public, the products, and really being able to replicate the real world experience in the classroom. Very important for the students to be able to practice the skills, especially with controls training, to practice the skills in the classroom before they go out into the real world and, you know, really see the products firsthand.
Right, that hands-on, that touching, feeling, experience, being in the space, it's just very invaluable. But sometimes we can't be in person. So what do you do when they can't be in person?
Right. Well, we certainly recognize that, not everyone can join us for in-person. And so we really strive to be able to offer educational platforms for every student and for every student's needs. So we have Acuity Academy, I mentioned earlier, the online portal. We also have webinars that really feature industry leaders and talking about relevant and current topics. We've started doing a lot of videos for social platforms, like YouTube, for example. So we have a lot of tips and tricks that folks can hop on and just sort of have a just-in-time learning capability. And lastly, we've really started developing out our virtual instructor-led classes, taking a lot of what we've learned from the in-person and creatively being able to add those immersive experiences in a virtual environment. So very exciting, but we really look to have something for everyone.
Thank you, ladies. This has been very insightful.
Thanks
for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Join us next time for a look at the ideal sustainable lighting solutions for renovating almost any space.